Hello everyone! Welcome back to episode 56 of my Let's Build series. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I have quite the big project for us. We need to go inside of our palace and try to get everything complete in here. So most of the rooms have been started, but as you can see, there are kind of spots in every part of this palace that is just a little bit more unfinished. So we've done about an episode in every room finishing something, but not finishing everything. So in today's episode, I would like to go through and do a whole bunch of odd jobs all around this palace and try to just complete the interior. We're going to be starting up here because this has the most incomplete rooms. Oh, there's a creeper on my bed. That's not what you want to see. Not at all. Okay, so I need to put some carpets on my bed so that nothing can spawn. We'll call that project 1. Alright, and carpets, check. Hopefully that should help with everything here. I think these areas are lit up enough. That should be fine. That kind of looks like a blanket is on it now anyways, because it's a little bit odd. Perfect. Okay, next up, the moon observatory room. So this room is facing this area here, which is exactly where the moon sets. I want to leave this area fairly open, but I am going to need some birch wood to do the typical borders on it, and I think I'd like to do kind of an archway just to make it look a little bit more supported. And then we need to get some railing going all the way along here. I think I'm going to need more birch wood. I'll start in this area here by just cleaning up these pillars and bringing them all the way up to the top of the roof. Alright everyone, so I've done quite a lot of cleaning up to this area. Simple things like fixing up the edge of the pillars, bordering the roof in birch, and adding a railing with some beautiful shiny end rods really helps out this area. But despite the end rods, we still have a lighting issue over here. So what I'm going to do to remove these torches is actually just place buttons all the way along here. That will fix the issue of things being able to spawn here, and we won't need to have any torches there, anything else that's kind of ugly. The birch buttons are very subtle, but they do the trick. And I actually kind of like the texture that they provide. Now, this room is still very empty, and I've spent quite a lot of time thinking about what I want to do in here. All of you have so many amazing ideas and suggestions, but as for some of them, I just couldn't figure out a good way to make it work. I think I've kind of thought up what I want to do though, so let me see if I can quickly plan it out. One of the things that I mainly wanted to do was have a telescope in here of some sort, pointing this way. But I wasn't sure how to do that and have it, to scale in a big palace like this and have it not look derpy, but I think I'm going to give it my best shot, and if I don't like it, I'll just get rid of it. It's not too big of a deal. So, I think we'll have it right on the edge, right here. I'm going to try to just build up a couple of pillars and see if I can kind of map this out. It's going to be a really, really, really large telescope. So I'm going to sort of have it leaning up this way. I'm going to try to use some dirt to kind of scaffold a little bit, and I think I'll have the edge of it right here, and I'll just sort of have glass in the end, so this won't be in any way functional. I'm sure most of you guys understand that, but I'm gonna try to make it look like a telescope of sorts. So out here, the most important thing is to have this be a circle, and I think starting with a square, as backwards as that is probably the easiest way to go. So now we have a square, and I think I'll be able to build some sort of circle off of that. At least, that's what I hope. Oh boy, this is going to be a challenge. So far, it just looks really derpy here. I don't want it to look like this. It needs to be quite a lot thicker up there. Gosh, building this is a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. I'm trying to go on kind of a diagonal here rather than just straight, and it's just not working exactly the way that I wanted it to. Oh well, though. That's just how the building process goes sometimes, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and try to add some glass to this. and just hope that it kind of fixes the design a little bit. I'm gonna make it come out a lot more than it probably should, and then I'm gonna try to do a sort of a ring of prismarine around the base and see if that helps anything. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Either way, it's worth a shot. Alright, I think that sort of helped, so what I'm gonna do is go around the edge again. Just one in. This time, knot has popped out, and hope that that kind of helps with some detail. It's really hard to detail like this, but I'll go in with some slabs and stairs as well and see if that helps anything. This is just not an easy shape to work with at all. Now that I've taken the dirt away, I'm gonna fly away and just make sure that that doesn't ruin the exterior too much. So from the interior, it's not that bad. I mean, it looks a little random, just sticking out like that, but it's not horrible. Now I just need to make it kind of look like somebody could work here, so I want to put a little chair design. Hopefully something like this will work, maybe with a pressure plate on it, and then a trapdoor if I have one. Perfect. Something like that. I think that looks kind of okay. I mean, it's not perfect, and I need to flip the chair around, but it's something. I think I'll leave this telescope exactly like it is for right now and move on to some of the other furniture items that I want around, and I'll let all of you kind of correct me on things in the comments and tell me what you wanted to see here. If you have any better ideas, please let me know. The remainder of the moon observatory room is going to be pretty simple. I'd like to put some tables that they could maybe do offerings to the moon on, and some more pillars along these particularly dark walls so that I can add some sea lanterns up here and just give it a little bit more life and depth. I'm fairly happy with how this room is coming out so far, and I think I need a little break from it before I add more details, just to kind of clear my head and get my thoughts together and form some new ideas. So for now, I'm going to head inside and change gears to work on another room. The next thing we need to do is upstairs. Again, there are 3 floors in this building, if you don't count the basement, and up there, as you can see, it's still very unfinished. So we've got a little staircase through here where, again, more unfinished rooms through here. And if I just climb the staircase right here, here we are in the upstairs of the library. So I'm not going to do anything too fancy up here. Basically, the main thing that I need to do is actually, I'm going to grab my bookshelves, and I'm going to be extending these bookshelves up these walls a little bit of ways, and I'm going to outline these windows again and just fix up some of this roof part right here just to get it looking a little bit cleaner and maybe do some better wall designs there. Once that's done, that should be it for this room. This is a pretty basic one. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll bring you guys all back once it is completed. Alright, so after just a little bit of effort, I'm already feeling so much better about this room. I've done a lot of work on this upstairs area, adding in lots of different shelving and just small details throughout. This area doesn't have a lot of actual function within the game. I decided to add a big desk here. By the way, the zombie noises you're hearing, they're on the roof. I accidentally forgot to sleep, so a bunch of mobs spawned. But yeah, this area is nice. You can see all the way up to the super tall ceiling now, which looks great from below. And since this is a library area, I decided to add 2 study rooms. The first of which I decided to do like a cartography style room. So I wanted something to do with all of my buried treasure maps. So I decided to kind of lay them out sporadically around the room and create some different desks, like maybe some workers here are scientists, are desperately trying to discover the secret of these maps and why they're spawning and different stuff like that. I just thought it could add some different lore to the room since I feel like it should be an area where people study. You'll also notice that although there are still some torches around, I've picked most of them up off the floor. Definitely a big improvement. I've added some lanterns, I've put some torches up on the wall, and I've used end rods and sea lanterns hidden to kind of try and fix up the lighting a little bit. I also finished up our balcony out here, so we can now stand out here, look over our big aquarium, which I think is glorious. Let's head downstairs. So down these stairs, we have another study room. With this one, I decided to do more of a potion brewing room, because before we really didn't have a place that was set to have a brewing stand and actually brew potions, so I just put some chests where I can add some supplies in here for brewing, and a couple of different brewing stands for me to work in here. I like this room. I like that it's at least filled with something and it has a purpose, and I just think that it's suiting for the rooms surrounding the library to be study rooms, at least 2 of them. 2 study rooms is pretty reasonable, I think. And now when we walk through this hallway, we can look all the way up, and as you can see, yes, perfect. We can see all the way up to the tall ceiling, which I absolutely love. Oh, and the moon is rising in our moon window. I had better get some sleep. Okay, so we still have a long ways to go to finish this interior, so I had better get back to work. I think the next stage I'm going to do is actually change gears again and head downstairs. So there's still a little bit of work to do down here. As you'll see, I did do a little bit in this room. I added this couch here between last episode and this one. And I put some beds here, just like up in our bedroom, just so that if I'm running along here and I need a place to sleep, I have this option as well as the upstairs option. Oh, and I do need to cover up some of those sea lanterns. You'll see those all throughout. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a simple trapdoor over those and that should solve that problem. But honestly, when do we ever look straight up anyways? It's not too big of a deal. Well, it might be a bigger deal in here. Yeah, I'll fix that. So the next 2 areas I would like to work on is this ballroom area. As you'll see, I've worked a lot in this area and this half is looking pretty good. This is meant to be a big open room. I don't want to chock it full of furniture. But I did see a grand piano design by the one, the only, Grian, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So I think I'm going to rebuild that and put that right here. So shout out to him. I'll link his video down below so that you guys can also follow the design if you would like to. And also, I need to do a little bit of work in this kitchen here. You'll see I've already gotten a lot of the lighting in the kitchen all sorted out, but I'd like to do more of these pillars, get some shelving in, some cabinets, some more workspaces, tables, sinks, all of the lovely kitchen stuff. So I'm going to get to work on that and get some supplies together and such, and I'll bring you guys back in just a moment. Okay, I think the ballroom is coming along wonderfully. I cleaned up the ceiling a little bit, I've gotten rid of all of the torches, and we have this lovely piano design here now. I really like the way that this turned out. I think it fills up the room nicely. I do want this to be a fairly spacious room, so I think this is about all I'm going to add here. On top of that, I just threw in another bench and, again, fixed up a bunch of the lighting that was around. It definitely needed it. Now we can move on into the kitchen, where I want to bring you guys in to do a little bit of the designing in here. Again, the lighting in here has already been fixed up, as well as the lighting in the ceiling has been patched up a little bit, just so it's a little less noticeable. Obviously, if you're staring at it, you can see them, but normally we're not just staring straight up at the ceiling. That's why we need to fill this room with stuff so that it's distracting. I do need to fix the lighting up here, but that's just a small task. I'm sure I can get that fixed up with some buttons so that it's not spawnable. Mainly, I want this room to look almost a little bit messy, like it's a kitchen that is constantly in use. I would love to have some different barrels around in here, some shelving on this wall, some more tables, and an area with some sinks. I think I'd like to do the sinks over here, and usually I would do this with cauldrons. But I think for this particular design, I would like to maybe go in with some trapdoors instead, just so I can have a slightly bigger area. Again, once I put in this furniture, I am going to have to fix up the lighting once again, but that is something we can deal with once the furniture is all in place. Let me grab a bucket of water. So if I just put that there, I think that should look like a fairly nice sink, and I'll do a couple of levers going down like so. Yeah, I think that'll kind of look like a sink, and we can put some stuff on either side. This should be lovely. There we go. And now we have an infinite water source in here as well, so that's definitely going to be fairly useful. I wanted to use granite for the design throughout here. I think it just fits it with it being a kitchen to have things be granite. And also I really like the texture and color. I think it's going to fit in wonderfully with what we already have. So hopefully that'll be fine. The only other thing I could think to do was maybe some birch, but I think we've used so much birch everywhere else. It'd be nice to just break it up and use some of these warmer colors a little bit. Now, on this side over here is where I'm not exactly sure how I want to do everything. We have a really big wall here to fill, and I mean, obviously we don't need the kitchen to go all the way up there, so I might have to get a little bit creative with how I do this. But I think I'm just going to go up as far as I can reach and kind of build that across like that, and we'll just have some cupboards in here. Whoop. I will need to actually build myself up on some scaffolding here though, just to make that possible. Whoops. There we go. Now I should be able to reach just fine. Perfect. I think that sort of looks like cupboards, and we can actually store our food in here, which will be really nice. Barrels are so lovely to use, but I think we can throw in some normal chests as well in some spots, just to really fill this area up. I do think I'd like to do another pillar here maybe. Maybe we'll do over one more. And now I'll just go up with this pillar just to fill in the wall a little bit more. Okay, and now in under this, maybe for a little bit more of a table sort of design, we can do something like this on either side and just pull that out. Hopefully this will look kind of like a table. Oh, it's getting very, very dark. I'm going to have to place a lantern on that maybe. Oh my goodness, look at all the torches I have. I'm not going to leave those torches there, but just to light things up for now so we can see. Then maybe we'll put in a couple of chairs around like so. Maybe just one chair can work at this counter. So let's see, as we come in now, yeah, that's just a little bit more filled in. Although I'm not exactly sure how you would reach up into those cupboards, so maybe I'll just cut this off right here instead. Yeah, I think that would make a little bit more sense, probably. I decided to come out in the water here and just collect a few of these sea pickles, because I think these are going to make lovely designs for our counters and tables, just because we don't have a whole ton of pots or bricks, and this is just a lot easier to get. I think it's going to look great as little cups and designs along things, as they don't have these white parts when they're on land. Should be perfect. Let's just place a couple of those in. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I think they do look like cups, especially if we only place one. I wanted this counter to be a little bit more on the busy side, so I placed a lot. But, I mean, you get the point, right? Let's destroy those ones and maybe just place a pot right there. The other thing I wanted in here was some more of these barrels just around the place, but I want these barrels to actually be filled with something, so I think I'm going to try to put some water in there and a piece of coral just to look like they have something inside of them that might be eaten, like maybe, I don't know, something from the ocean, some sea urchins, some clams, I don't know, but there's something in the bucket as you walk past is the important part. I don't really mind what it is, just as long as there's something there. Let's do a blue one now as well. Perfect. We can also maybe use a little bit of carpet on some actual barrels sitting down if we need to, just to add a little bit more color and variety to this room. This is looking so much better already. While I was in the storage room, I decided to also grab some item frames and some of my leftover shovels that I have just lying around, the iron ones. I thought we could maybe put these on the wall or on the table somehow, just to make them, I don't know, maybe they look like really big spoons? Maybe. If they're in the context of the kitchen, I'm sure people will understand the point, right? Whoa! Excuse me? Silly skeletons. Alright, so I have to check the lighting around here again, but I bet it's on these shelves. All I have to do is get some lanterns going, and that would probably fix that problem. Let me try that now. Alright, a lantern up on that shelf. Perfect. And I'll do a lantern laid down here as well on the table, just to light things up a little bit more. And we can do another one right up here. I love that lanterns look good when they're laid down, because if you lay a torch in a place like that, it just doesn't make any sense. It makes me really happy that that looks good. Now, back to the item frames. Maybe, where can we have these hanging? Maybe we can have them like right here somewhere. We can do a table or something. Let's just try it and see what it looks like. Kind of have to angle them down a little bit. This one's got some enchants, but that's okay. Yeah, I honestly think that that makes sense. In the context of a kitchen, of course. Although I may have to move it from right there. I think we'll do a table right here. Maybe we could even do a scaffolding table. What do you think? Does that look okay? Just somewhere for people to be preparing food around here. I think that kind of looks good. It may also be nice to get some carpets in there for some color, and it's always nice to have a mat by the sink when you're working there, so that could be something that I add in. Maybe we'll go with some light blue. I love adding carpets because it gives me the opportunity to add in a little touch of color in a way that makes sense. To a room that's a little bit more dull, like this one, I think it'll make a big difference. Maybe something like that. See, the problem is we can't do it right here because of the trap doors. So maybe not. Maybe we'll do it here instead. There! Oh my goodness, I think this room looks so much better now already. It makes sense as a kitchen, I think. Maybe with just a few more of those kind of granite shelves up here, I think that would make a really big difference and kind of finish it off. Alright, now as a final thing to do, I'm just going to add a few plants to these pots that I've put around. I think that'll help to dress things up, add in little touches of color, and it'll just make a little bit more sense that they might be storing different plants in here, like fresh herbs or something like that. You can really make anything make sense in a kitchen, I think. Wow! I really like this. We've really filled up this space so much better than before. All I have to do now is go up the top there and fix that up with some buttons, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get some junglewood buttons just so they don't look too odd. This will make more sense too because it means it'll be darker up here, which I kind of need. It doesn't really make any sense to have this place be extremely bright. I want the focus to be down there on the actual floor plan, not up here. Although, I do think a nice layer of molding going all the way around the ceiling here could really dress up this room. So I might go ahead and do that. That might be worth it. I think right here, just to hide a little bit of lighting and accent against this wall, I am going to add in some sea lanterns. But to help with that, I'm then going to also go get some trapdoors and just hopefully hide that. This should work just fine. I think I need a 4? Yeah, 4. Let's see if I can make this make any sense. Ooh, whoops. So 1 like that, 2 on the top like so, and 1 on that side. I think that makes perfect sense against that join, and it lets me light it up a little tiny bit. And now if we step back, yes, that makes so much more sense having it kind of dull like that. I really love it. Oh, this has suddenly turned into one of my favorite rooms. Speaking of favorite room, maybe we should take a little tour around all of the interior rooms now and just kind of give them a little inspection. What do you guys think? Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn on shaders for this. I'm going to be using Sidlurs Vibrant Shaders. This is kind of an older version. I need to go ahead and update my shader packs. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There we go, got that loaded in. I'm so excited to see what this place looks like. I have about 30 FPS, 24 when I'm looking at some stuff. You guys will just have to bear with me for a little while. Let's take a little fly out. We haven't actually seen the palace in a little while with shaders on, so why not? Oh, it's so lovely to fly around with shaders on. This makes me so happy. Okay, let's go on into the inside. So, in here you can see no torches on the floor. There's still some on the walls, but on the floor, no torches. I'm very proud of myself for that. If you've been following the series for a long time, you know this place was very torch spammed. So to have it be spawn proof like this is pretty impressive in my opinion. Here's our village down there. I think this grand hallway is looking spectacular. Yes, this is just wonderful and so peaceful. Let's head upstairs, shall we? Here we are in the throne room. I haven't done a whole ton to this room. This is our little map, and we've got our mat is now finished here. I do have to fix the lighting up here, but that won't be a problem. I'll just do the same thing what I just did with the kitchen, where I cover it up from below and just tuck some sea lanterns in there. That shouldn't be any issue at all, and then I think this room will be pretty much complete with the addition of a few more armor stands and maybe some tables and benches off to the side. Should be perfect. Oh, and maybe some flower pots as well. Yes, definitely flower pots. The other thing I need to go ahead and finish up is this area over here. So similarly to what I did with the moon room where it also had these awkward connections, I'm just going to drag a beam across there, bring the roof down to meet it, and if we need to use some buttons, I will. I do know that I need buttons right along that edge. Why don't we go ahead and do that right now before I forget? Because it's such an important area, but for some reason it's just one of those areas that I tend to overlook constantly. It's a little bit mean, almost, to this area, because it's such a beautiful spot. Okay, now how am I gonna... Let me just place that for now. And bring me across, please. Thank you, thank you. So, I am gonna have to delete these. Oh, I think I'll leave them for now, though. Yeah, I'll be able to connect this perfectly fine, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. And let's just grab some buttons real fast and quickly fix this up. Alright, problem solved. No more spawns along that edge. This area is looking really good. I like all of this. It does look like it's nighttime, but thankfully we are heading into the bedroom, so I can quickly go ahead and go to sleep. This area is looking fantastic in my opinion. I absolutely love how it's turning out. You can see the stars in our moon window. And I'm gonna sleep on the couch instead of the bed. Now we've got some sun rays from the sunrise coming through. Oh, look at this moon observatory room. I think this is lovely. I think a few more details can be added to this room, but for now, I mean, this is kind of what I envisioned here, just lacking a few of those details that we need. Not too bad overall. And now let's quickly go ahead and revisit those little study spaces that I added in. I did think of one extra idea, I haven't added it yet. I think I want to add some nether wart growing in here, kind of like a little indoor garden area. Since this is a potion brewing room, I think that'll just make a little bit more sense with this area if I had some bins to grow stuff. And heading up the stairs, our map room, and some more private study space up here. This is lovely. Oh, I love this palace so much. All right, what are the odds that I can take off from here gracefully? Oh, yes. I nailed it. That was perfect. And look at our palace in the background. This makes me so happy. Look, our turtles have been coming back and forth as well. I haven't hatched those eggs yet. I promise I will, but look at that. We've got little friends. Hello. That's so wonderful. It also looks like one of them has gotten itself stuck in that boat. Hello, sir. Are you going for a boat? There's two of you. Well, how am I supposed to fit now? You know what? I think I'll let them have some fun there. Although they do look a little bit squished. I think I could sit here and watch this all day long if I had to. Just so beautiful. Goodbye, turtle. See you later. Alright everyone, I think it is finally that time. It's time for the comment or question of the day. And today's comment or question of the day is from Excalibur600, who says, I was wondering how many times you have died in this world. Such a simple question, but one that I don't think I've ever answered, so I think I will answer it right now. Because I don't know the answer either, so let's look through statistics. Number of deaths. 4. Just 4 deaths. That's actually not bad. I think I can remember all of those. I've died to a drowned. I think I've died to a creeper. Yeah, my first death was to a creeper. Maybe I can't remember all of them. Most of them have been on camera though, obviously. I think there's only been 4. Surely I've gotten them on camera. Maybe not though. I'm pretty good about not dying. In the Artisan SMP that I'm a part of, I haven't died yet at all. I tend to stay pretty safe. I don't do very much. I just build. Although I suppose I could have died building this because of the height, but I have feather falling shoes on, so it's never really been an issue. Well, now I'm kind of curious. Is that a good death ratio for the amount of time that I've played in this world, or is that bad? How many times have you guys died in your world? I've had this world for a year now, and I think 4 deaths is pretty impressive, especially considering what we've accomplished. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone!